What's good, YouTube? Sean just reacts. We got the 20 most dangerous places on Earth. We get into it.
There are places on Earth so dangerous, so hostile, so unforgiving that stepping foot there could be the last thing you ever do. Some are haunted by radiation, others by predators, poison, or nature's wrath. But all of them share one thing in common: you wouldn't last a minute. These are the 20 most dangerous places on Earth. Our planet is beautiful, but it's also deadly. Beneath the stunning landscapes and tourist photos lie places that were never meant to be tamed. From bubbling lakes and nuclear wastelands to death traps disguised as natural wonders. This is your tour of the most extreme, toxic, and terrifying locations on Earth. If you're looking for paradise, turn back now. 1. Bermuda Triangle, Atlantic Ocean. This stretch of ocean between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico has swallowed planes, ships, and entire crews without a trace. Scientists blame rogue waves, magnetic anomalies, and heavy traffic. Conspiracy theorists suggest something stranger. But whatever the reason, hundreds have vanished. And once you're in the triangle, you're on your own. Navigation systems fail. Radios cut out. Storms appear without warning. Some pilots report losing time or seeing strange lights before disappearing from radar.
The Bermuda Triangle is a place where people disappear mysteriously, and it has no logical, no conventional, no natural explanation.
Entire cargo ships have vanished, their last coordinates placing them in calm waters. Sailors and pilots still avoid the area, and insurance companies hike premiums for those who dare. Whether science or something darker, one fact remains: enter the Bermuda Triangle and you might never come back. It's not just folklore. The US Navy has documented several aircraft losses in the area. The most infamous case? Flight 19, a squadron of bombers that disappeared mid-mission in 1945. Their distress signals were normal until they weren't.
How can you lose 5 aircraft? And it's a good question. It's a question that still is around today.
5 of them? All at the same time? Or it's like one after the other? Like one was trying to go find, like 2 was lost, and like one, they sent like one more to go find the other 2. That one got lost. Then they kept sending until they was like, all right, we give up. That motherfucker, that place is just haunted, or that motherfucker is just, if you go there, you're just gonna die. So we just not gonna send no more. Like, what was it? No way it was 5 at a time, or 5 at one time, bro.
The rescue planes sent after them vanished too. To this day, no wreckage has been found. The Bermuda Triangle keeps its secrets. Other stories tell of ghost ships drifting aimlessly, compasses spinning uncontrollably, and pilots confused by horizons that suddenly vanish. Rational minds blame weather and currents, but mystery has its own gravity. And in the Bermuda Triangle, it pulls everything down.
We had no idea what the Bermuda Triangle was or what the effect of the Bermuda Triangle was. And later on, we said, that was it. We were there, and that's what happened.
They survived the Bermuda Triangle?
Ooh, we got that reggaeton. Today, we're gonna be making beats you guys send me, okay? So
that's what affected our plane.
2. Boiling Lake, Dominica. Nestled in the rainforest, this volcanic lake reaches temperatures of nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit. It bubbles, hisses, and emits clouds of toxic steam. One slip off the edge, and you're cooked alive. It may look like a hot spring, but make no mistake, it's a death trap. The crust around the lake is unstable, and sudden steam explosions have occurred. The lake itself is often shrouded in fog, hiding its true size and activity. Nearby plants are scorched and animals steer clear. Even seasoned hikers must tread carefully. One misstep and rescue becomes impossible. Guides require permits to approach it, and tourists are advised not to linger. The lake has been known to drain and refill rapidly, a sign of the volcanic chaos brewing beneath. Its deep gray waters constantly churn, making it impossible to predict when it might erupt or shift. It's not just heat you fear here, it's the unknown. Those who've gotten too close report burning lungs, sudden dizziness, and disorientation. The air itself is toxic, rich with sulfur, carbon dioxide, and heat. Even with gear, exposure must be limited. Nature boils here, not just water, but any living thing that stays too long. 3. Bolton Strid, England. It looks like a peaceful creek, but it's a killer in disguise. Underneath this narrow English stream is a deep rushing current that carves caverns into the stone. Locals say everyone who falls in disappears forever. What makes the Bolton Strid so deadly is its deceptive appearance. It looks like a place you'd step over, but its underwater channels can be 6 to 10 feet deep with jagged rocks and whirlpools.
The thing about the squid is that it famously has an optical illusion where it looks a lot narrower than it actually is. The underneath of it is hollowed out with pebbles that have kind of turned into potholes. So the currents trap and they just kind of swirl around endlessly.
There are no confirmed survivors, no bodies recovered, just silence and warnings carved into local legend. The strid is part of the river wharf.
There's got to be at least one body that floated up.
The sudden constriction increases the water pressure, turning a calm surface into a death machine. You'll hear birdsong, see moss-covered stones, and have no idea that beneath, the water churns like a blender. Even experienced swimmers wouldn't stand a chance. Rain makes it worse. What was once a tranquil stream becomes a roaring death trap. Its banks are slippery, and footing disappears. And if you fall, you won't even scream. The water closes over you instantly. 4. Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. This alien-looking landscape is a toxic nightmare. Sulfur springs, acid pools, and volcanic craters.
This just look like everything. This just look like where you're not supposed to be.
Fill the area. Temperatures can reach 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
Like,
the air burns your lungs. The ground can melt your shoes. It's stunning. It's surreal. And it's one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Located at the junction of 3 tectonic plates, the Danakil Depression is geologically alive. Earthquakes, lava lakes, and geysers add to the danger. Explorers risk heat stroke, burns, and toxic gas inhalation. Even experienced guides know no one lingers here long. Yet it draws researchers, photographers, and thrill seekers, all mesmerized by its neon pools and steaming vents. But the terrain is ever-changing. What was solid ground today could collapse tomorrow. Salt mines dot the region, worked by afar nomads who've adapted to the extremes. For outsiders, the beauty hides a violent, chemical reality. Even scientific equipment malfunctions here. Drones fail. Batteries die faster. It's a place that drains the living and the mechanical alike. And should the ground quake beneath your feet, there's nowhere to run. 5. Death Valley, USA. This California desert is no joke. Ground temperatures here have hit over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. People have died within hours from dehydration and heat stroke. Even your car can overheat and trap you. It's beautiful, but it's a furnace. Despite its name, tourists still flock here. Some underestimate the heat, bringing too little water or getting lost.
Amid a heat wave that has gripped the United States from Florida to California, this furnace valley is expected to hit the record of 54 degrees Celsius during the day.
In the past, even experienced hikers have collapsed within sight of help. Park rangers warn visitors constantly. Plan ahead or don't come at all. The landscape deceives. 1 minute, you're walking past painted canyons. The next, you're collapsing in the shade of your own shadow. Cell signals vanish. So does your sense of direction. And as the sun reflects off the sand, it cooks you from above and below. In Death Valley, your margin for error is razor thin. Even the wildlife knows how to conserve energy here. Coyotes travel at dusk. Snakes hide under rocks. And you've got 5 hours of water, if you're lucky. Miss your turn, and you'll discover why it earned the name Death Valley. 6. Devil's Pool,
it's really
Victoria
just a test
Falls,
of endurance
Zambia.
right there.
A natural pool sits at the edge of a 354-foot drop. Tourists swim here for the thrill. One wrong step and you're over the falls. No second chances. It's the ultimate dare, and sometimes the river wins. Guides are trained to know the safe seasons, but even then, the flow of the Zambezi River is unpredictable. Strong currents can shift rocks or pull swimmers too close to the edge. Rescue is nearly impossible. It's a selfie spot with a deadly backdrop. Every year, hundreds brave the pool during dry season when the water level lowers just enough. But even then, only inches separate life from death. A slight misstep, a sudden surge, and you're tumbling over the roaring cascade.
You really are.
Locals have a name for the falls, the smoke that thunders. And in Devil's Pool, one scream can be lost in the roar forever. The surrounding rocks are slippery and sharp, shaped by centuries of force. Visitors often feel dizzy from the sheer drop. Even experienced swimmers admit the pool's beauty masks its wrath, and one wrong step here is forever. 7. Elephant's Foot, Chernobyl, Ukraine. After the Chernobyl disaster, a molten mass of radioactive material formed beneath the reactor. It's called the Elephant's Foot. Just minutes of exposure to it can be fatal. Even today, it remains one of the most radioactive objects on Earth. When it first formed, the radiation levels were so high that just looking at it could burn your retinas. Today, it's less deadly, but still incredibly dangerous. Protective suits and remote cameras are required to get near it, and even then, you're playing with fire.
The nuclear meltdown at Chernobyl in Ukraine was 30 years ago, but the crisis is still with us today. That's because radiation virtually never dies.
The elephant's foot is a deadly reminder of human failure. Composed of uranium, graphite, and reactor core material, it once emitted over 10,000 roentgens per hour. It could kill within 300 seconds. Though its potency has declined, its legacy hasn't. Scientists study it from afar, while urban explorers risk their lives just to glimpse it.
Why does it
But
feel like I'm
thing's
looking
clear.
at like a cartel video or like a dark web video or something like and then y'all
It was
seen
born
the
in
radiation
catastrophe,
thing, the
and it
elephant's
still
foot, I
radiates
guess?
death.
That
Photographs
just
of it
looked like
blur.
it looked like a pile of shit. That's what it looked like. But look how close he is. Didn't they say they could kill shit in 300 seconds?
And warp from radiation.
Don't they look like
Early
a face too?
researchers used mirrors to look at it indirectly. Some of the first people to enter the chamber are no longer alive. It sits silent, but its danger screams through time. 8.
So it's just
Great
sitting there
Blue
to this
Hole,
day?
Belize.
Still building.
This
still
underwater
building
sinkhole
radiation?
is breathtaking and deadly. Strong currents, sudden drops, and deep caves have claimed divers' lives. And then there are the sharks. Dive here, and you're not at the top of the food chain.
There's a massive underwater
all
sinkhole
you had
off
to
the
say.
coast of Belize that extends 125
Sharks?
meters into the
that
Earth's
wants a bite?
crust.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I'm
called the Great Blue Hole.
The hole goes over 400 feet deep, and the deeper you go, the darker and more disorienting it becomes. Nitrogen narcosis, poor visibility, and limited rescue options make this one of the most dangerous dive sites on Earth. It's not for amateurs. What looks like paradise from above becomes a vertical abyss below. The limestone caverns contain sharp formations, tight squeezes, and the remains of lost divers. Bull sharks and hammerheads are common here. Many enter for beauty, but it's depth, darkness, and disorientation that often seal their fate. Local guides know the risks. Decompression sickness, equipment failure, and panic have claimed lives. Once you cross a certain depth, turning back becomes a race against physics. Here, beauty comes at a steep, vertical cost. 9. Lake Karachay.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
You got
Russia. Used as a dumping ground for nuclear waste during the Cold War, this lake is more toxic than Chernobyl. Standing near it for just an hour can kill you. Today it's sealed off, but its danger still leaks into the environment.
I mean, but what's standing in red water?
А норма сколько? 1,2. То есть получается, что сейчас уже 2 раза больше нормы.
In the 1950s and 60s, radioactive sludge was poured directly into the lake. When droughts caused the lake bed to dry, radioactive dust was carried by the wind into nearby towns. Thousands were affected. Even today, the region suffers from high cancer rates. It's a silent, invisible killer. To prevent further spread, the lake was filled with concrete blocks and gravel. But that's a temporary bandage on a deep wound. Beneath the surface, radiation pulses like a heartbeat. It's a nuclear graveyard, one that humanity built, and may never fully bury. It remains off-limits, with warning signs posted for miles. Birds avoid it. Locals whisper about it.
А почему у вас нет с собой защитного костюма, как у нас?
Потому что мне не дали.
Вообще, вы не боитесь без какой-то защиты сюда приходить к атомному озеру?
Долго не Главное, нет. Главное, долго не находиться.
No fish swim, no reeds grow. It's a dead lake,
Listen to
humming
him.
with the
He
ghosts
know,
of
he know
uranium.
what the fuck to do.
10. Lake Natron, Tanzania. This caustic lake turns red in the sun and is so alkaline it can calcify animals on contact. Birds that land here often don't survive, their bodies preserved like statues. Step in unprotected, and you're next. The lake's pH can reach 10.5. Almost as caustic as ammonia. The red hue comes from salt-loving microorganisms. Despite the danger, some flamingos nest here, adapted to its harsh chemistry. But for anything else, even a short swim can be fatal. It's a paradox.
So
The lake supports life, but only certain kinds. Fish can't survive. Human skin burns within seconds, and animals that die here are mummified by the salt, leaving behind eerie monuments to nature's chemical cruelty. The lake looks like a mirror, but it reflects death. Photographer Nick Brandt captured haunting images of calcified animals along the shore, and locals, though used to its presence, rarely venture close. The line between life and death here is measured in minutes,
No
or
way
inches.
that's the water.
11. Mariana
No
Trench,
way that was
Pacific
the
Ocean.
water.
The
And he
deepest
just
point on Earth,
swimming in
nearly
that
7
ditch.
miles down. It's pitch black, freezing cold. And the pressure is so intense it would crush a submarine. If something down there doesn't kill you, the environment will. Few manned missions have made it to the bottom. The pressure is over 1,000 times what we feel at sea level. Unknown creatures lurk in the abyss, adapted to darkness and pressure beyond comprehension. It's a place built to keep us out, and it succeeds. One of the few who made it down? Director James Cameron, in a custom sub. He described the silence as oppressive, the creatures as alien. Temperatures hover near freezing, and visibility is zero. No light reaches this world, and for humans, it's a dive into the jaws of the unknown. Some scientists believe life here may hold clues to extraterrestrial survival, but the cost of exploring it, millions in technology and lives on the line, makes it one of the most forbidding places ever visited. 12. Nika Crystal Cave, Mexico. Massive crystals stretch across this underground cave, but the heat is over 130 degrees Fahrenheit and the humidity hits 100%.
It's 90 to 100% relative humidity inside this cave, and it's always over 113 degrees Fahrenheit. You might think, well, 113 degrees isn't that bad. It gets 140 degrees in the deserts in Iraq all the time, but the relative humidity in those deserts is 10%. In this cave, there's so much humidity you can't sweat and cool your body off.
Without a special suit, you'll die in minutes. The cave was discovered accidentally by miners, and its crystals are among the largest ever found. Some over 30 feet long, but the air inside is like a sauna. Breathing becomes nearly impossible and electronics fail. It's beauty wrapped in suffocation. Researchers can only stay inside for 20-30 minutes with full cooling gear. Sweat doesn't evaporate, making heat stroke a constant threat. One wrong turn and you're disoriented. With no signal and no second chances, the crystals may sparkle, but they shimmer above a grave. Some call it the most beautiful death trap on Earth. The crystals are millions of years old, fragile and irreplaceable, but to get near them, you risk everything. And most visitors never make it inside. Inside, the silence is deafening. Sound is absorbed by the crystals. Breathing becomes audible. Every step feels like walking on a boiling moon. The walls drip with condensed moisture that never dries. It's a surreal, otherworldly environment that embraces you in heat and chokes you in silence. 13. Oymyakon, Russia. The coldest inhabited place on Earth. Temperatures drop below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Eyelashes freeze, skin dies. Your breath can crystallize in the air, and if your engine stalls, you freeze too. Residents use car battery warmers and keep engines running. Any exposed skin can frostbite in seconds. Forget boiling water. Here it turns to snow mid-air. It's life on the edge of extinction every single day. Locals bury their dead quickly because the ground freezes solid. Schools close only at below 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Tourists often suffer frostbite within minutes. It's not just cold, it's brutal, silent, and relentless. Oymyakon isn't just a town, it's a test of survival. Falling asleep outside, even for a few minutes, can be fatal. Roads crack from the cold.
Why would you ever
Breathing
do that?
feels like inhaling glass,
You didn't have
and
to.
if you fall, there's no one coming to help.
One of the many day-to-day hardships of living in a place like this, aside from the temperature, this morning it's minus 54, is the complete lack of running water. These places have no pipes.
The cold gets into everything. Ink freezes in pens. Lashes break off with a blink. Cell phones die in seconds. The sun offers no warmth, only the illusion of safety. In Oymyakon, the air itself is an enemy. 14. Runit Island, Marshall Islands.
Just don't go
A
there.
crumbling
Why would
concrete
you-
dome covers
It's cold
radioactive
as hell.
waste from
Just
U.S.
don't go
nuclear
there.
testing. Cracks are forming. Rising seas threaten to breach it. If the dome breaks, radioactive fallout will flood the Pacific.
That is the massive amount of water that has suddenly become airborne is absolutely incredible.
Nicknamed the Tomb, it contains over 3 million cubic feet of waste. Locals fear what lies beneath. Scientists warn the dome wasn't built to last this long, or to handle climate change. It's a ticking time bomb in the ocean. Built in haste during the Cold War, the dome is unlined, meaning seawater already seeps in. Satellite imagery shows structural instability. If a major storm or earthquake hits, the Pacific's ecosystem could face an invisible plague. Environmental groups have called it one of the greatest unacknowledged threats of our time. And as ocean levels rise, so does the fear. What was once buried may soon return. Many living nearby suffer from unexplained illnesses. Children play on contaminated sand. Activists call for international aid, but silence remains the loudest response. The ocean waits, and so does the dome. 15. Skeleton Coast, Namibia. Fog, shipwrecks, and endless desert. This coast is a sailor's graveyard. Wildlife here is brutal. Hyenas, lions, and snakes roam the dunes. It's not called the Skeleton Coast for nothing.
It's a section of coastline in Namibia, on the Skeleton Coast. It's quite famous among certain circles for being called the Skeleton Coast because there are shipwrecks strewn the length and breadth of the coast. There's no access to the area whatsoever, and generally if you were shipwrecked there, you were stuck. And what we've found is there's no fresh water for a 300-mile section of coastline.
Portuguese sailors once called it the Gates of Hell. Shipwreck survivors often died of thirst or were eaten by predators. The coast remains desolate, and even modern navigation struggles with the fog. Nature here doesn't forgive. Sandstorms hide jagged metal wrecks. Whale bones bleach under the sun. Ghost towns with decaying buildings tell stories of failed outposts. It's cinematic, eerie, and utterly unforgiving. The shifting sand buries everything. Navigation is nearly impossible. Aircraft avoid it, and for anyone stranded here, there's only the wind, the bones, and silence. The sky above is often a pale gray dome. Visibility drops, compasses spin, and beyond the rusted hulls and cracked bones, only the desert answers your cries. Here, survival isn't just difficult, it's almost mythical. 16. Snake Island, Brazil. 1 snake per square meter, and not just any snake. The golden lancehead viper's venom melts flesh and kills in under an hour. Even the Brazilian Navy stays away. Researchers need military approval to visit and must wear protective gear. The snakes evolved in isolation, becoming more toxic than their mainland cousins. Even a brush with one is fatal. It's paradise for vipers and hell for humans. Their venom causes internal bleeding, kidney failure, and brain hemorrhaging. The snakes rest in trees, fall from branches, and slither through underbrush. You don't walk through Snake Island. You hope it lets you leave.
And in here, you don't have to walk that much, and you can see many snakes. So it's these are special conditions you can never find anywhere else. I mean, here is the biggest abundance of venomous snakes in the world.
The island is so dangerous it's been closed to the public for years. Myths.
Because really think about it, you have a whole island dedicated to only having snakes on that bitch, and the most deadliest, dangerous ones. So not only do you have just a whole island with millions of the world's most deadliest snakes, you have an entire body of water surrounding it. So look, so I'm just saying, if you was trapped there, nigga, you like, let alone, like, let's say you wasn't afraid of snakes and you was able to survive and get in and travel between the island. Nigga, you're not leaving the island, bro. You're not getting on a boat or whatever, or hoping somebody come save you from, on an airplane or whatever, to come pick you up from a fucking island in the middle of the ocean. You're not swimming either, nigga. You're dead if you see that.
Say pirates left treasure there, guarded by venom. But no gold shines brighter than the yellow flash of a lancehead striking. 17. Vozrozhdenia Island, RLC. Once a Soviet bioweapons testing site, now abandoned. Anthrax, plague, and other horrors were buried here, but not safely. Today it leaks into the soil and sea. The island was once remote, but shrinking waters have connected it to the mainland. Scientists fear that leftover pathogens may spread to nearby populations. Disinfection was incomplete. What lies buried could still infect or kill. In the 1980s, the Soviet military tested some of the deadliest diseases here, including smallpox and tularemia.
At the same time, wouldn't they?
Records are vague, and cleanup efforts were rushed. When the RLC dried up, the island became a peninsula, increasing the risk of human contact. Wind carries dust from exposed soil and possibly microscopic killers. It's not just history buried here, it's biological time bombs. Few outsiders are allowed to enter. The region is remote, windswept, and eerie. Rusting equipment, abandoned bunkers, and dead silence greet those who dare explore. Scientists have detected genetic traces of weaponized bacteria, and worst of all, we don't know exactly what's left beneath the sand. Locals call it a cursed zone. The winds whisper past rusting Soviet trucks, and cracked buildings still hold vials marked with skulls. The sun beats down, but it doesn't bring warmth, only warnings. 18. Yungas Road, Bolivia. Known as Death Road, this cliffside path claims hundreds of lives each year.
Oh, I think
No
I heard about
guardrails,
this.
narrow roads, fog. One wrong move, and you're gone.
It's so
Cyclists and thrill seekers try it anyway. Many don't make it back. Rain makes the dirt road slick. Landslides are frequent. And the drop? Over 2,000 feet. Buses, trucks, and cars all use the same one-lane path. It's less a road, more a tightrope over death. Crosses line the roadside, marking where vehicles have fallen. Visibility drops to 0 in seconds. Drivers honk constantly around blind turns, praying someone hears. One flat tire, one panic swerve, and it's over. Yungas Road demands precision and punishes the slightest error. Even in daylight, fog rolls in so thick drivers can't see their own bumpers. Tires slip on mud, brakes fail, tour buses plummet. It's estimated 200 to 300 people died here every year before alternative routes were built, and yet people still come for the thrill, or maybe to stare over the edge of mortality. And when night falls, the road becomes a shadowed gauntlet. Headlights reveal only a few feet ahead, and sometimes a ghostly shape where a vehicle once was. For many, the road never ends. It just drops. 19. Valley of Death, Russia. A volcanic valley where poisonous gases rise from the earth. Birds drop from the sky. Animals collapse where they stand. Step in without warning, and you die before you realize why. Carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide build up in low-lying areas. Hikers have reported dizziness and disorientation. Rescue teams often wear gas masks. It looks peaceful, until it isn't. The air itself turns hostile. Dead insects carpet the floor. Wolves and foxes are found frozen mid-stride. Trees wither at the roots. What seems like mist is actually toxic vapor. Even experienced explorers sometimes drop without warning. It's nature's own gas chamber, hiding beneath scenic snowcaps. It's part of the Kamchatka Peninsula, a land of volcanoes, geysers, and unfiltered primal power. Thermal vents create invisible clouds of death. One moment, the breeze shifts. The next, you're on the ground. Tourists often don't know they've entered danger until it's too late. The landscape is dotted with warning signs, but few in English. Many tourists hike in without guides. And by the time the headache hits, the valley has already begun its work. 20. Madidi National Park, Bolivia. Beautiful, wild, and deadly. This rainforest is filled with venomous creatures, deadly parasites, and toxic plants. Even a scratch can become infected, and rescue is days away. Some plants cause hallucinations, others can paralyze. Insects spread diseases you've never heard of. Locals know the safe trails, but even they carry antidotes. It's a jungle where everything is alive, and everything is a threat. Flesh-eating bacteria live in the soil. Parasites enter through the skin or water. Ants can blind, spiders can kill. It's a place of ancient magic and modern danger, a paradise with teeth. To step off the path is to gamble with nature's wildest creations. Tourists often underestimate the risk. A cut becomes gangrene. A bite leads to fever. GPS fails beneath the dense canopy. In Madidi, it's not one predator that hunts you, it's everything.
The fuck is that?
And you won't know the mistake until it's not.
What in the hell is this? Look like a genetic pig. But also like a... I can't keep looking at it. What the fuck is that? Somebody let me know. What the hell is this?
One predator that hunts you, it's everything. And you won't know the mistake until it's too late. There are tribes that still live here, and even they avoid certain areas. Locals speak of zones where the birds stop singing. In Madidi, silence means danger, and when the jungle goes quiet, you'd better move or not at all. These places weren't made for people. They test the limits of survival, reason, and sanity. Some lure you in with beauty. Others wear their danger like a warning sign, but all of them share one rule: respect the land or pay the price. They remind us that Earth still holds secrets, and some should stay hidden. From toxic lakes to nuclear ruins, venomous jungles to haunted valleys, danger doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it waits, quiet and still, until you make the first mistake. In these places, every breath could be your last. Every step could seal your fate. They're reminders that nature is not always a friend, and that some frontiers should never be crossed. So if you found this tour chilling, Hit that like button and subscribe for more real-world horror.
And that's the thing, y'all. That's gonna do it for the video, but but listen, bro, nature has never been nice to anybody. It's always been survival of the fittest. The strongest win and the weakest die. It's always been that in the jungle, in the wilderness, in the winter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna do it, y'all. Please, y'all, comment, like, subscribe, y'all. Turn on post notifications. I'm trying to reach a goal of 100K, or I said 100, 1,000. Please, y'all, leave a like, leave a comment. Anything helps. And until next time, y'all.